What's happening, man?
What's going on?
How you doing, man? We live. Hey,
Another week. We live,
bro.
and we want to welcome everybody to another episode.
Y'all know how it is, man. Welcome,
It's your favorite unks. I'm Uncle Drew.
Chris. Shout out all the nieces and nephews out there to getting the unks and aunts alike.
Yeah,
Thanks for rocking with us. Excuse me, man. It's been crazy.
how's your week been?
It's good, man. It's been good. So those who know or is coming, started started my diet this week.
Yeah.
I got called fat by a certain someone. Yeah, that live in my house.
Yeah.
That
Has your last name?
had my last name.
If you put a ring on.
Yeah, that's around the same age.
All right.
I ain't gonna say no names or nothing like that. But no, but it's been good. The week has been awesome, man. And from us, just like I said, we went live and the reception has been amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank y'all so much. Like from the shorts to it's been
Cool.
man, it's one of those,
Okay, I'm trying to pay attention to it.
I ain't got no choice to.
I'm trying to just
Right.
and let it go. But I was talking to, a friend, and he was like, you're gonna have to, bro. If you wanted to, operate in excellence and you wanna get it to where you want it,
Right.
you gotta pay attention to it. And I was like, no, man, but so I'm trying to get caught up.
But you got to hurt yourself. Yeah. And that's why I'm like, okay, but because for our content, because I don't want somebody. So full disclosure. So when I did my short, my pastor, I did, word of the day.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine at work, he's like, oh man, I gave you a follow, dope. But he's like, change the battery and you'll smoke.
Yeah, the trip going. Bro, you saying
Right, because I'm in it. Like, so I'm recording. So he said it. I was like, appreciate it. I just said,
hey, good looking.
But that's the thing. So I don't want it to be a smoke detector, right? I want us to catch it.
Yeah.
Or no, we can get what's out to you.
But it's just like any athlete, you gotta go back and watch the film.
Of course.
And we're trying to get better.
We're getting it out, man.
As we go.
We're getting
I
there.
really appreciate y'all rocking with us on all fresh show. My week's been good, man. I'm gonna keep it real though. Like, guys been putting belts behind to me, bro. Ooh,
Now listen,
nah, it ain't even that, bro. It's just perfecting. Like, just a little tune-up stuff. Like, man, stop doing that. Start doing this. Do that different, right? And it's like, it's been good though. Cause like I said in one of the previous episodes, I like being critique. Like, tell me about myself. Cause I'm trying to be the best me possible.
you said it.
You know what I mean? So it's coming.
You knew he was.
It's coming. Oh, it's yeah.
Well, you think I can help you with that? Like,
Yeah. So it's been good, but I hear you, John. All right, sure. Get ready. I'm new. I'll be right back. It's little adjustments, but it's good. It's good. My week's been good. It's been chill with the kids. Like, sports is how we're in between seasons.
Right.
So
Right.
sports is chill. I finally get to be at home. Just it's not that I'm doing nothing. I'm just not running around the streets.
Man, listen, doing nothing is a blessing.
It is.
Like when you,
At this point in life,
listen,
we said on our paper that
we said it last week. Well, you said it last week. Like, it's just a preview. Like, when you, like, I love the noise. Don't get me wrong. The ripping and running with the kids and they doing their thing and the family and all of that. I love it. But ain't nothing like them sitting there.
I've been at home. Yeah, I got I'm gonna go do domestic stuff when I get home today. Yeah, 3 piles of clothes that need to be folded, put away. So
Yeah, that folding, that's something.
Man, listen.
That's a watch. I do the laundry. I got it. The folding that's in your basket. Everybody is that's on you. But they bad as clothes. I even during the week, I tell the boys, I'm like, get your clothes out for the week. I iron them.
Yeah.
I do everything. But the clothes,
It ain't even the kids. It's my clothes. It's me and the wife's clothes.
yeah, and they clean. That's the thing. Like they not even dirty.
They clean just go. I was like, just laundry basket set up. Like, you just look at them for days. Like, I need to fold them clothes. I'm gonna get tomorrow. But yeah. Other than that, man, it's been good. I've been thinking a lot about our last episode, talking about the culture. Yeah, positive things about it that we should keep and embrace it. pass on to the next generation than, stuff that likes to be pushed. The negative.
The thing that's celebrated, right? The culture thing that's celebrated and promoted the most.
Yeah, which is usually some of the toxic, negative things.
Because bad news travel faster than good news.
And people like, people
like
entertain.
They like entertain and mess. So you said it with Ray did, like, he knows he ain't crazy, but he's like, if y'all want to crash out.
I get the most views when I act up. Yeah, but
act crazy enough, crazy or fun.
Yeah. Hey, you don't know what's a real you versus nonsense. But, going back to that, we were talking about what we need to do to fix those things, right? Like, we could talk about the problems all the time. There's plenty of platforms, there's plenty of noise out there that's always talking about the problem.
Yeah, stop complaining.
I want our conversation today to be more,
we're the solution
based, right? Because what we think.
We know it's problems.
Yes,
like we know documents. We know if we get home and the refrigerator's empty, everybody know ain't no groceries in the refrigerator.
Right.
So why we go sit there for 6 hours talking about, man, still ain't no groceries.
Right.
Stomach rumbling. Like,
somebody got to go to the store.
Somebody has to go to the store.
Exactly.
Right. And so this is the store. This is the store, but this is the store. We here at Solutions, right? We not here for nonsense. Again, we'll laugh and joke and all that, but honestly, that is because part of also what we talked about was the crown, right? And understand, because in the culture, we are royalty, right? Like, we are kings and queens, and we are those things. But we touched on it last week, that crown though, like some of these crowns is lopsided. You have not grown into it yet.
Yeah.
But what I'm considering a crown, that's not the thing that I should be celebrated for. That's not the thing, seeing little girls and kids, you see them in here, they 5 and 4 and twerking, and we all laughing like, hey, we did, even growing up in the family gatherings and you little kids being there dancing and doing all that. And it's cute then.
Right.
It's cute then. But then you got your 16-year-old blasting Pound Town dropping down the street. And you in the gated community with an HOA, and you look at like, what is wrong? But it was cute then. Right? Because that's what you promoted and celebrated, because nobody told her or told them, no, baby, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, no, little girls don't do that.
Yeah.
Right? Because royalty. You just don't belong to anybody. So you just can't be out here acting a certain way, right?
Yeah.
And again, in the house and we acting foolish and all that stuff, but now we record this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Everything record.
Everything.
And it's not only recorded, it's like you said, it's kind of celebrated, right? And again, everything, like, even my point about not getting caught up in the analytics of having the pot.
Right.
I don't want my mind to go to how to get more views rather than keeping the content authentic, right? So that's what I mean by like, I'm not trying to get caught up in it, because again, if you just get on here and talk crazy, you know what I mean? We do, just everybody talking about nonsense, but we get on here and just whatever, we're gonna get more views, right? And the masses are not attracted to being educated in some way, shape, or form, right? Which is a trick of the enemy, in my opinion, because the greatest way to keep somebody from being educated is what? Keep them entertained. If you're entertained, I'm not looking to grow. Just make me laugh, make me cry, make me feel something. But
because I don't want to focus on
the truth.
Because that means I'm accountable.
Yeah.
And I mean, now I got to do something.
Right.
Because it's real easy, like, man, that's sad. And it's like, because it's clear. It says not to judge ourselves with ourselves, right? Yeah. We'll compare ourselves. Well, I'm doing better than him.
Yeah.
At least my wife ain't trying to leave. At least, yeah, but that's not the standard.
Yeah.
So you're missing the point. And what that is, we have to get back to, hey, man, no, I'm not judging myself with you. We're not finna do the nonsense, because what lasts, the nonsense never lasts.
Yeah.
But everybody, and we hear the same as being on the right side of history. When we're looking at it, the people who are on the right side of history, that is what lasts. I'm sure there's a bunch of people who were against Martin Luther King Jr. civil rights movement or the original like feminist movement, and we understand with Susan B. Anthony and all those things. I'm sure there was people against them. We don't know who they are. We have no idea who the dude was on the corner was like, Martin Luther King Jr. like, bro, you crazy. Ain't nobody listening to you. We don't know because he's on the wrong side. So this, our goal, and even for this, is reinforcing stuff that will last.
Yeah.
Right? This is will last. I'm feeling some kind of way with this. I feel the same way. I feel like real official. Y'all see it? Because I'm getting excited. Yeah, I think it's that. I think
it ain't like no major merch line yet.
But not yet. But yeah, this is,
we want to be official. I feel official.
Shout out Sierra. She don't already this, but
coming up the logo.
Right. But that is, and I'm loving this. So I'm looking at it simply not from the views perspective, but I'm simply just looking at it from a critique perspective, even talking about our content.
Yeah.
Making sure it looks right. Making sure, okay, is it different sounds or what's going on or what's happening? Just making sure it's
quality. You got to do it in excellence, bro.
Everything we do, you do heartedly unto the Lord. That is where, because that is where it is.
Yeah.
Because now it's very similar. Ain't that amazing that that's very similar to royalty and the standard? Because we're in the household of faith, because we say he's the King of Kings, right? And we say all these things. If that's the case, and he's my dad, what does that make me?
Right. 100%. I got to live up to the standard. And if the standard is Jesus, right? He's our standard.
It's our example in all things.
And sample. Then excellence is the only way. And again, we know nobody's perfect. None of us are perfect.
One. And he gone. And he cared. He did his job.
So none of us is perfect.
Nobody.
But at the same time, that's not an excuse not to pursue perfection.
I think you mentioned it earlier, talking about pursuit.
Yeah.
Right? Is you said built to behind, but it's that
pursue slow adjustments. You know what I mean? And if like, yo, I'm not perfect. I'm a flawed individual just like everybody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know that when the critique comes, you're not so offended because somebody said, change this, don't do that. How's that godly?
Because you're trying to be great.
Yeah. That's the thing. Because if anybody did it in any other sector, right? Like if you wanted to be a good hooper and Kobe having to walk into the gym,
you gonna see it?
Hey man, I see what you're doing, but keep your elbow in. You're not gonna be like,
man, my elbow,
like, be happy. You gonna be like, oh, guess what? Go get my elbow in, right? Like you gonna hear like my ring's so happy that he even took the time to speak to you, right? But it's like when somebody's like, yo, that's rude. You shouldn't talk to people like that.
Who you supposed to be?
What? What you mean? All I said was, yeah, but you might have not have said the wrong thing, but you delivered it. Don't judge the right way, right? Oh, don't judge. That's the end all be all.
You don't judge me. Yeah, we judge and we judge everywhere else.
Everybody judges every day. Everybody judges every day. You got up. You said, did these pants match this shirt? What did you just do?
Nowadays, you made a judgment. Do these pants not match? Now, not match.
Whatever your judgment is, everybody judge every day, right?
Every day.
Do I take this street or that street? Do I get on the freeway? Do I do this? We call those decisions, right? Those are decisions.
But it's judgments we have to make.
It's the same thing, right? It's a judgment. So it's like, cool. We understand that, right? Now, let's lay some foundation.
Because that's where it's at.
Let's lay some foundation.
That is where it has to be.
When we talk about the culture, when we talk the cure for the toxic traits within the culture or, different subcultures, I think it starts with the foundation we lay, which it does early on. Like when a kid is born as a parent, right? I'm a parent of 4. You're a parent. 3, right?
Yeah.
It starts.
I'm trying to think. It's 3,
right? You got 3. I got 4, right? It starts with laying that foundation at a young age. Like as soon as that kid is born, all right? Obviously, they're infant. Ain't too much you can teach an infant. But
word too. No,
all right, but you ain't. That's more so love and affection. that touch that you're giving an infant, which is scientifically. Now listen, fact check me. I'm gonna say this because I believe I heard it before.
Okay. But in the comments, if whatever the accurate statement is, feel free to jump in the comments. But go ahead.
I believe I heard or saw that touch, like a newborn, the amount of touch, affectionate touch that child receives is there's a direct correlation with how that child grows. Like the physical, mental, emotional growth of that child.
100%.
Right?
That's why the first thing they do when the child is born is skin to skin contact with the mom.
Yeah.
Before the child even starts to latch or they start the process for all that, the first thing they do is clean. Even they'll wipe the baby off a little bit, but they'll cut the umbilical cord and they sit the baby on the chest of the mother. Why? We're getting that skin to skin.
Yeah.
Because it's something. Man, God, it's like, think about that. That was the first turbocharger. Like we put our phones on a turbocharger now and charges. Right. Like that Tesla noise. It's a natural turbocharger.
Put the baby on mom's chest.
Yeah, but you correct.
So yeah, bro, I'm thinking, if we look in the Bible and Jesus was born, right? When King Herod, right, heard that he was born, he immediately was like, "Oh no, hold on, I'm the king. There is no other king that's about to."
Which means he know, like he heard before.
Yeah, and I look at that as like, the devil knew the moment you was born. He has purpose. God wouldn't send him here if he had no purpose. Right? So immediately from day one, the devil was trying to kill him. Spiritually, however you got to do it. That's his job. His job is to destroy you, right? And as a parent, you've got to have that understanding. And I think when it comes to laying down that foundation, right? When you look at a child, you're like when I look at my kid, I told you in the earlier episodes, the way I was living before my first daughter got here,
right?
I was like, I don't want her to know that guy. Because really, I know that's not me. Right. But if she comes up knowing that that's how my daddy is, that's what my daddy do, then why can't she?
Right.
What type of, like,
can't tell her nothing.
I can't tell her nothing.
You can't tell her anything.
Because now I'm being a hypocrite, or I've just ruined my witness towards that particular thing, right? So I was like, I can't do that. I got to change up. I gotta be the person that I know God wants me to be, so I can be an example to my daughter. I have to set the standard for her, right? And then obviously the same thing for all the other ones that follow. But laying that foundation, what would you say is like the foundation, like the starting point from building up a young prince, a young princess, for them to grow up to be like healthy, mature kings and queens? What's that starting point? What's that? What
you said it. The word has to be the foundation, right? It's these houses, right? It says these houses that were built on solid ground, and then those that were built on the rock, and then those that were built on sand.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that were built on the rock, it withstood the rains coming, the winds blowing, because they're coming on both.
Yeah, they're coming.
See, don't get it twisted. Like, it's coming on both.
Yeah.
That's why when people say, man, why is bad things happening to good people? No, things happen. We live in a fault. Things happen. Life happens. So when life happens, what I'm standing on and rooted on, so it has to be in order. Jesus, he is the cornerstone.
Yeah.
He's what everything is built off of. But if I don't start with that, even with you and your daughter, you realize I have to be rooted in this because I'm her foundation. Until she gets her own relationship, she doesn't know. Okay, read scripture, all that. She don't do that. All she knows is I'm looking at what my daddy did. I'm looking at what my mom does. Now, in you doing that, the older that she get, you showing her, this is the real foundation, baby. You get your own, and now she realizes, like, oh, so that's why my dad did that. That's why my mom did that. Okay, the older they get, it starts to click. It makes sense. But that has to be the foundation. And even when we look back in our culture and growing up, that was our foundation.
Yeah.
Right? When we talk about in slavery in those days, typically the church was the hub, because that was the one place we went to where the pastor was, in many cases, was the only one or one of the few that knew how to read and read the scripture. But that was the place that we went to. So our foundation, even though we're in this crazy dire situation of being enslaved and going through all of that, we still can, the old, as they say, Negro spirituals and all that, we shall overcome and all those things. That's why when I hear people say, and we got this, we've twisted again. The enemy, you said he perverts and twists. Why? Because our foundational, they had a legitimate reason why they were singing what they were singing, why they were going through. They were actually persecuted. They were actually enslaved. Like they actually endured slavery. They actually, so for my foundation, how dare I take what they built and then I flip it and then basically throw it in the trash? Because when you say, oh man, man, this system is geared against us, how? In what way? Now, don't get me wrong. Don't hear what I'm not saying. Does it happen? Does it? Absolutely. Is there certain pockets and spaces? Of course. But I own a home, as do you. They couldn't. I went to school as you did. They couldn't. See, and we're mixing. So what drives the foundation, even in that, is that drives me to be a good husband. That drives me to take care of my kids. That is how we lift up the culture. That's how we bring back what's celebrated and promoted in our culture. Because I haven't, you heard me say this a lot, and of myself, have never experienced good old-fashioned racism. Right? That, boy, you look lost. Like, you need to get around here. Like, I've never had a noose tied up and hung on the tree in front of my house. I've never had, now, have I been profiled? Of course. Absolutely. Has things transpired? Of course. We were on our honeymoon. We got married. We were in San Diego on our honeymoon in Mission Beach. Now, I lived in Vegas. I don't live there. Me and we walking down in the shops and everything, and the officer stops me. Okay. So he's like, hey, he asked some questions, and so we like, no, we here from Vegas, we here on our honeymoon. You think I can see your ID for what? We just told you we don't live here. And you didn't stop and ask anybody else right around us. Yeah. Oh, there was a burglary and you fit the description. I bet we did. Yeah. Here you go. Now, advice of this episode, the first one. Give him your ID. No. Man. I get it. Listen, why? Because I'm with my wife. Now, absolutely everything in his life. Are you serious? You didn't ask a single person around us. You ain't stopped anybody else. But here you go. Oh, okay. You see this from Nevada. Then it changes. Like, oh, okay. Oh, well, how long you guys here for? And it's like, oh, tough. But I didn't leave there, and I don't live my life like, man, see, it doesn't work that way. Because I understand the foundational, now let's say the spiritual side. I know who I belong to. So if I'm out there acting a fool, yeah, because when you're talking about foundation and you belong to something greater, yeah, and we say we kings and queens and all things, okay, if you belong to something greater, your response is not just you. Your reflection is not just you. So if I'm tripping, they gonna say, man, these Christians out here, my name, none of that matters. The moment, that's why he says, all live godly shall suffer persecution. That's why. Because if you go out here and live somewhere, it's his name. Right. Yeah. It's another Christian. It ain't Chris. Or they're going to say, well, ain't you supposed to be? Correct. So, correct. Even if they never say it to that point, they look at you based off of your confession, exactly, or your actions, right? You might not be out here like Jesus, 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 which I don't necessarily live my life where like you have a conversation with me. I'm not like Jesus, 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 Jesus. If you ask me where the 7-Eleven is, I'm gonna say it's down the street. I'm not gonna be like, well, praise the Lord, brother. Well, Jeremiah 7-Eleven. That's see the Slurpee. What? See what the Slurpee? Man, I'm just gonna keep it simple, man. Listen. Oh, that time, man. Just actually, what's the score of the game? Yeah. Who won the game? Why did the Bible come up? I don't know.
right? But it's like I don't necessarily like move like that. But people already are looking at you, and if they're not looking at you from a place of admiration, they're looking for you to slip up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then the moment you slip up or show them something, even if they never say it, they're like, see, he said he's Christian, but he blah, blah, blah. And he did da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's not, I mean, it falls on you a little bit, but the main, it keeps me not is the kingdom of God. Right. And that's the thing. Like when you see people, and again, like even saying that it's similar to like what I was saying, the conviction that I was having in the correction that I've been receiving this week. Is like, how you moving, bro, in this particular situation isn't bringing God glory. Now, it may make sense to you from a natural sense. Like naturally, if you explain that situation to somebody in the world, they're like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, they're justified in it. But like you said, because we belong to something greater, no, those actions are not okay, right? You're not necessarily causing any immediate harm.
But there's some non-negotiable. That's it.
But if I'm representing the king, this is not excellent. And I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. Like I get that. And so creating that foundation, like you said, Jesus is the foundation. Word of God is the foundation, right? And being that he's the rock, when life comes, because like you said, life is gonna come to all of us.
It's coming.
It don't discriminate. It's on everybody, right? And all demographics, all shapes, forms, all severities. Everybody get that word.
Poverty give you that word. Addiction give you that word. Like no names and no bounds.
It don't care, right?
Absolutely not.
Being that you founded on that rock, when those things come, the storm, the winds, the rain, you're gonna be okay. You're not gonna be moved by that. Right now, you build it on the sand. Well, like to me, the sand would be popular opinion, popular beliefs, the overall culture,
Moral code.
the moral code.
Like, cause I'm a good guy. You mentioned it when you went to the church.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a good guy. Surely. Right? Because that is me comparing myself with myself to somebody else.
Right.
So I'm cool, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, no, nah, we're not.
And I believe like most, and really, and the importance of establishing that so early is because I think a lot of us in life, especially I'm speaking for myself, we do stuff and then try to put Jesus in on the back end, come clean it up, right? Like we either knew or we didn't know. Because I believe some people don't know. Some people come from backgrounds where they people foundation wasn't set.
Correct.
And they people foundation,
They're figuring it out.
so it's like some people, I mean, kind of start at a disadvantage. You gotta hope,
Right.
And not to go off them. That's why we believers got to be tapped into what God has us to do, because there's people out there that need to hear the gospel. There's people out there that need that identity, that structure, right, that purpose. And if we not on post, those who are just lost, they stay lost, right? I'm watching behind behind the bars or something like that, where they're interviewing inmates.
Presence.
And the dude was like, yeah, I'm in here for a murder. He was like, man, but when I got here, I realized I don't have no enemies. Like,
We all in
these dudes that who I thought were my enemies, right? It's free day, enemies. Like, he was like, and I didn't know, man. We was just lost. He was like, we didn't have no direction. Nobody was telling us which way to go. So if somebody said, let's go do this, we just went and did it. He was like, it wasn't until I got in here that I realized that. And it's like, the church has to be in place so where our young men and our young women don't have to end up in prison. They don't have to end up strung out. They don't have to end up on the blade. They don't have to end up in places like that before they realize, like, oh, wait, I don't have to be here.
It's too late.
You know what I mean? Because for some people, you ain't get, like, you locked up for a body, you ain't,
You will be in
like, you going to have to figure that out.
And
Like, your freedom, I don't know that.
shout out to the prison ministry.
Yeah, shout out to everybody.
Because that is
Necessary.
it is definitely necessary.
It's important. You know what I mean? But going to that, like, that's why we have to establish these things young, because that's when your kids are the most impression. That's when they're the most influenced by you, right? Like,
Yeah.
my son sees me open my Bible in the morning, he goes and get his Bible, right? And then my 16-year-old, he might see me read my Bible and be like, I better read his Bible. And he gonna keep doing what he wanna do, right? So as they get older, sometimes that,
But he's old enough to know.
but yeah,
And that's where again the foundation has been laid.
right.
So that's on you. So I'm not tripping them. See, I'm still he again 16, he's still there, but it's like you're at a place now. I'm not finna be in your head.
Yeah.
Right? You know the difference between right and wrong. You know what you're supposed to be doing. I just like you get up in the morning. If I gotta keep asking you, did you brush your teeth? Did you take a shower?
Right.
Did you do your homework? It's certain things now, son, you should already know how to.
The responsibility and the expectations are a lot higher, right? And even though he's 16, I'm on his head about like, son, this is why you need to get in your Bible in the morning. This is why you need to be praying. This is why you stay away from them. This is why I'm always explaining something to him over and over.
Well, listen to what you said. It's not the act itself. You're explaining the why.
Right.
Because you get on his head about, okay, son, yeah, just brush your teeth twice a day. It's like, no, son, why you need to brush your teeth? And then you show him all the dental bills that we had. The reconnect, all the stuff that we've had, the bridges, and now you can go and it's crazy now that you can get a new set of teeth. If you go in short, you can come out 6'10". You can, like, you have a 6-pack. Like,
Yeah.
you take a week off of work, you can come back a neat person. But you're explaining now, it's not the act itself or what it is. I'm explaining the why, son.
Right.
The why is what you're drilling into him, because now he old enough is like, you know you need to be doing it, but let me tell you why it is important. Let me tell you why you need to stay away from them, because I can just say you stay away from them and you'll do it simply because I told you. Now you need to know why, because you're in more spaces without me.
Yeah. And I need you to be able to have discernment. Yeah. I need you to be able to judge situations properly, right? Like when we was in the parties back in the day, we was in the house parties,
Listen,
and certain people walked in, or dudes start staring at each other in a certain type of way, and you already know this is it, don't get along with this is it.
it's certain parties. I ain't even be like, where's that?
You don't even go.
Where's that? Oh no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Now that one, we all go to the bowl. We go do something now.
Now shot now immediately. You know what I mean? I was in a party one time over here off my hamburger.
Oh yeah, you was who died?
Bruh. Who died, bro? We in the party. Somebody mama moved all their furniture to the backyard. It was an empty no house. We like the first ones there. I don't know. But we was like the first ones there. And these dudes walked in immediately. Wrap it up.
Yeah, time to go.
But if you don't know, I'm just here to have a good time. They're probably, they're just coming to enjoy themselves like me.
Pop, pop, pop.
Nah. And how many people have you heard about, have you known, have you seen, who lost their lives because they're just at the wrong place at the wrong time, right? And you either you ignored wisdom and said, get up out of here, or you just didn't know, you're just oblivious to it, and now you're gone, right? Your family's without you. And it's like, son, I need you to be able to discern situations. Like when you in places, when people say certain stuff to you, what you mean by it? Like what?
Yeah.
When people start just saying something, I'm joking. Oh, I'm joking. Oh, I'm joking. Why you keep saying the same joke?
And that's always truth in a joke.
It ain't funny if unless there's a little truth.
There's every joke has a little truth in it.
Right.
Every single one. When people say,
right.
Even the not funny ones probably have more truth.
Right.
It's ain't funny. Because it's actually, it's,
You gotta have a straight truth so you would find that part.
right. It's like, that's directly at somebody, shot like that ain't funny, and you laughing. It's like, all right, well, that's
Even punch you.
it's over.
Yeah.
But that is where it's,
But like you said, we're explaining the why to our older ones, correct? And to the younger ones, like I literally Googled like how to build a healthy foundation for a child, just to see what Google would say, right? So it came up with all these different things, and I'm gonna just throw them out there. I'm just gonna touch it, you know what I mean, freestyle. So it says fostering emotional and relational security 21. Unconditional love and support. Make your child feel cherished and safe by showing consistent love and being a reliable source of comfort and support. I think you touched on it.
Yeah. But that's different,
Okay.
right? That's different in different spaces, right? In different households and different things. So yes, that is absolutely correct. But the unconditional love, right, is understanding. Unconditional in this sense is, nah, you're not doing it, right? Or allowing you to make your mistakes and bump your head in a controlled environment. That's the key thing. It's in a controlled environment. So, okay, go ahead. Exactly. So we in the house, y'all in here, we're gonna play football. So Jackson and Kyle, we know in about 15 minutes, somebody in about 15 to minutes, somebody gonna be crying, somebody gonna be hurt.
Yeah.
It's nobody's fault.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all have a seat. Right? But that is, now we could be in there, y'all need to sit down. Don't do that. Don't move that. We're in a controlled environment. You heard yourself, what's the worst that can happen? Even if one of you break your arm or your leg or something like that, we'll still, okay, take you to the hospital. To like, there's really no life-threatening danger imminent. So, yes, love is, all right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Now, the unconditional, I told you, right? I warned you. Y'all probably should go outside and play or do something else. But no, but I think that has to be in whatever setting that's in.
And I think, for unconditional love and support, you would like to think, and I mean, we know that that's not the case, but you would like to think that that's like a given. If you have a child, you unconditionally love them, and you're going to do all that you can to support them.
For moms, yeah.
Now,
That's a little different.
That's not,
Especially the older they get.
because, I mean, I'm just saying from just a general,
Correct. Yeah, I got you.
I'm having a kid. Any good person,
Oh, yeah.
are like excited that they got a kid on the way. They thinking about their future. They're thinking about their current position. Oh man, I need to do this. I need to get my money right. I need whatever, right? Because you're trying to create a good environment for that kid being brought up in. Because most good parents, you should keep saying it. Most, which means not at all. We don't know that, unfortunately. Right. And good, meaning I know that there's bad ones out there, right? They are trying to put you in a position better than they were, right? So you would think that the unconditional love and support aspect of it is there. Now, what do we say to people who unfortunately don't have that, right? They're born into situations where either, you just got a bad set of parents, because there's bad parents. I believe, unfortunately, some people should not be allowed to have children.
And they didn't want to keep having it. And like you keep having, and people, listen, don't get on TikTok and IG and YouTube and you complaining about, oh, it's hard out here and I'm trying to find a job and I'm trying to do this and they're going to shut this down and take this away. And me and my 8 kids, we did like, hold on, at a certain point, I give you one. Like you like double state, you young.
Yeah.
Most of us did it. Some of us just didn't get caught, right? But okay, it's here now. At that point, you would think, everybody knows, you would think like, okay, I'm not gonna make this same mistake again. You would think.
And again.
But so those are the ones that you have in multiple. And so you're keep making the wrong decision. Hence, in that space, as a good parent, since we're talking about good, as a good parent, you got it. I told you, you didn't listen. Now we're here for you. I'm definitely gonna take care of my grandbabies.
Yeah.
But why? Because I'm teaching you. See, love, if I allowed you to keep making the mistakes and then I'm always there. And I never let you feel what accountability feels like.
Yeah.
And I never let you feel like, oh, again, people get on there like, man, I don't have a life. You made that choice. Yeah, nobody did. What'd you say first episode? You was a kid there.
I was a kid there, right? And I knew what I was doing.
So you made that choice.
So when she said, I think I'm pregnant, I wasn't surprised. I was shocked.
But then also, it wasn't like, man, I can't. I'm trying to go hoop, man, and I can't. No.
To me, at that moment, everything her mama told me came to me at that point. Like, I just listen.
Why every single conversation,
Every warning, something gave me every red flag that was going up. All of it came to me at that point because, like I said before, now I'm in a position where I've been raised by a good dad. I've been raised by a good mom. Not taking care of my kids is not an option. That's not an option.
Would you say that was a foundation that was laid?
It was 100%. Put it in the foundation, bro. Because my dad did what he needed to do to take care of us. My mom did what she needed to do to take care of us. That's the only thing I saw. Like, you don't know what it's like.
Now, I don't take care of your kids.
I don't know what it's like to think about not taking care. Jeez, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't,
because I like my life.
I just can't relate, bro. Like, I seriously try sometimes, like even after I got divorced, because my older two are now with my current wife, right? Even when I got divorced at 23, I had two pretty much babies. It was the reality of them growing up in a separate home broke, right? But and the part that broke me the most is I couldn't blame nobody. It's easy to it's easy to not grow because you're quick to point a finger at somebody, right? I couldn't be mad at nobody but myself. I did that. I made those decisions. I made those choices. Now, did she play a part? That's irrelevant.
It don't matter.
It don't matter no more.
So you ain't get on TikTok and bunch. So
This wasn't on Facebook sending some little shots at my lady.
wait, but this was a bit ago. So you didn't go on MySpace and blame everybody.
You know what I mean? In my mind, did it happen? Yes. Right? Like I wanted to be, well, was it no, but when mature people accept the dust settle, when the dust settled, and you know what it was? I'm gonna tell you when it was. Our pastor. We had a conversation and he said, let's go back to the root of it.
We all good. Why we got to hand? Like the Alexa curses fast. Go back.
He was like, did we?
I learned about
Did this person say don't do that? Sir? Did this person say don't do that? Did you listen?
No, sir. Okay, I get.
So what you mad about?
Right.
And then at that point, it was like, okay, cool. And my maturity and my growth, I think, multiplied itself when I stopped trying to blame people.
Say that again.
When I stopped trying to blame people, I was really able to look at in the mirror, and it's not easy sometimes, right? It's not easy to be like, I'm here and it's my fault. I didn't go to college because I was chasing a girl. I didn't go to college I wanted to go to, right? My dad was always go to the University of Florida. My sister went there. I grew up watching the Gators. I was like, I'm going to go to UF. Did go of a girl, right? Now time has passed. I'll never get that experience. It's gone, right? It's gone. Whose fault is that? That's mine, because I was being ignorant, bro. I was being just dumb. And that's that part of establishing these things in your kids at a young age and monitoring them. Because if you just leave them to themselves, foolishness is bound up in the heart.
Kids don't know nothing. It's like kids don't know nothing. I'm not gonna say anything. Kids don't know nothing. Which is why this culture, like this in this popular culture is, well, my son, he feels that what? You know what I mean? Like, okay, so your son sees something on a TikTok. And a TikTok is the cinnamon challenge, or TikTok is a Tide Pod challenge. So he coming in like, he walks into with Tide Pods. And you're like, where you going? I'm gonna do this. You gonna let him go, potentially kill himself. No, you're gonna stop him. Why? Right. Because he don't know nothing. He knows nothing.
That's dumb. You're not doing that.
So if I'm a good parent, again, like you said, my dad, you don't know any different. Yeah. I don't know. I can't even thinking about either about it. Because I like my life, right? Because and I know your dad, he don't say much.
No.
So when he comes, you got it.
Yeah, you know, it's
It's over.
it's nothing that ain't no talking, negotiate, never. Whatever's about to happen, it's about to happen.
I got your bitch.
And that's the thing. It's like for my dad, he is a man of few words. So for the most that I learned from him was just watching, right? Seeing him come home tired, seeing him like, even seeing him and my mom have little
Backs, ebbs and flows, right?
It's my dad never yet. I've never seen literally, I've never seen my dad yell ever. Ever, 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 ever. Never, ever. I'm not sure anything.
Like, you know,
Like people say that Thanksgiving comes, like, yeah, there's no way. I put that on my children. I've never seen my dad yell at my mom ever. And my mom, she could talk a lot. There's both. Like,
I agree with both. Because I know both your parents very well.
you know what I mean? Mama, I got that from my mom. My mom can be spicy.
Yeah, and I can, even your parents.
Yeah.
Man, I can say your dad has always been like,
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's man of very few words.
Right.
But even with me in my situation, he was one of those who told me, he's like, I ain't saying you can't do it.
Yeah.
Do it right.
But that's it when I told my dad when I was 19, because that's when I found out. I was like, Dad, I told my mom, she went off on me as far as like me having a kid. She went in. Then I told my dad, and he just like, this is what he said. He said, well, you're a man enough to make the decision. You're man enough to deal with the consequences. That was our conversation.
And he want to drop somebody's tea. He probably want to come get some iced tea about that. And I was just sitting there like, yeah. Okay. But now is that, see, because the first one, again, the unconditional love, what we talked about, that's why I said dads are different.
Yeah.
Right? Because the dad is, okay.
What you better do now?
Exactly. Because we're not going to sit here. Again, the foundation is, okay, righteous man falls 7 times to get up. Okay, son, the mistake is made now.
Yeah.
Are you going to continue to perpetuate and make the same mistake? Yeah. Or are you going to start to begin to live up to the name? Right? And the foundation that we've set. And it ain't about me now.
Yeah.
See, at this point, you know now. So in that short response that he had, that was an acceptable response to his son. Why? Because I've spent years telling you.
Yeah. And that's how I am with my kids, bro. I think I said it before. Like, my thing is, I don't want them to ever grow up and be like, Dad didn't tell me. I don't want them to be blindsided by the fundamentals of life. As a dad, I feel like I should have taught you that. And I'm a guide. Like, I think look, we talk so much. I don't know if we said it in the podcast or we just was talking. But we said the son, my oldest was like, Dad, I'm worried. I'm like, what you worried about it? He's like, I don't know how to pay bills. I was like, he was like, how do you pay bills? I was like, what you just pay them? He was like, no, like, do you like go to the place and pay them? Do you like go online and pay them? I said, oh, son, don't worry about it. I said, right now, don't worry about it. That's a weighty matter for you. You don't even gotta worry about it. But when that time comes, I got you. I'll walk you through that.
That's not do, man. Right? That's what I gotta do, Trey. Because think about the conversations that we see on TikTok and the stuff we see and what kids or people are quote unquote worried about. And the thing that he's worried about is that, I don't know how you do this. Right? Yeah. He like, I just come in and there's food in the refrigerator, right? I mean, I see you leave every day.
Yeah.
And go to work. I honestly don't even know if you really work. I mean, you know what I mean? Because I said, then you come back at a certain time and then bills are paid. We have a nice house. I can go on this trip. I can play on this AAU team. We can go and travel and do all these things. And for him to be like, wait a minute, I like this. I ain't got nothing. I don't like. He's understanding. I don't know nothing.
And that's cool. He goes into the second little point they have is teaching essentials and life skills. Right? You got your unconditional love and support, right? And then it goes into teaching essential life skills, which discerning situations. I think that's essential, right?
Yeah.
Even like Kyle. you're at school, your friends probably be talking crazy at that young of an age.
And they do.
And you need to know when to exit a conversation, when to not engage in the conversation.
As he is my son. So I know. Now, you go and joke, you go get in the middle of it again. Understand when to exit. We just had a meeting with this teacher. So again, it was about some other stuff that would just happen as far as like the Great Lake and all that stuff. But we actually, I was like, okay, well, how's he doing? She's like, no, he's great. He does what he's supposed to. He's a great kid. We love having him. And she's like, no, I don't trip, because the school he goes to, a lot of the kids, they've been in the same class since preschool. So he's friends with he's friends with Daniel. He's friends with all these people so of course they're gonna talk. And she's like, I love the fact that they had that because they go to each other's birthday parties and they hang out. And so she's like, I love the fact that happens. So I don't trip too much. But I said, now, what is his response when you tell him, okay, it's time to settle down? Because now this answer is going to determine what response I'm going to have right when I get home. Right? You know what I'm saying? She's like, no, when it's time to lock in and when it's time to focus, every single time he sits down and focus, he does what he's supposed to do. I was like, that's what I want to hear. And he's a kid, right? And he's my kid. So we joking? Let's go. Right? Like, yeah. All right. So he said, so they went to school. So this happened in the meeting. So he got, what was it? Most improved. And so my wife is like, improved from what? Give me the light, right? Improved from what? Yeah. Like, what has transpired when he got most improved? Because it's grades. I mean, he got straight A's. These grades is fine.
Yeah.
So what? Because we never had conversation. So they were outside playing and they throwing the football. And one of the kids in the class, is my son. He told him, he's like, he dropped the ball. He said, man, you suck. You ain't got no hands. I couldn't do my kid. Now, in the meeting, right? Yeah. So I got to be, okay. But as soon as we get outside, I'm like, did he catch the ball? Like, give me the hand. He don't get ball.
My man don't got no hands.
Like that's us. But going to that is teaching those teaching moments, right? Is he knows when to exit. Yeah. He knows when, okay, it's time to calm down. He knows when it's time to, that is what I want. That is what gives us solace to know that, we're raising them according to the scripture and how God wants. It's because you're heeding to authority. It's not just when mom and dad is around. Yeah. Right? It's not just when, again, if Uncle Keith see you and I ain't there. Right. And he say, sit down somewhere. Or he say, come here. And I hear, you ain't my daddy. Oh, really? Well, I am. Right. And I'm going to show you a side of him that you ain't never seen. I mean, right. That's that enforcement, though. Because, I mean, we think moms, because typically in most houses, moms are fuss and they'll do all that. But we think like now, when I'm going, we know. When your dad lose it,
you don't want to know smoke.
Like, my dad is the most calm. I feel like the most chill dude.
But I'll be out with my friends, right? I'm like 16, 17 years old. I'm out with the friends. It's probably like, my curfew, let's just say it was 1. It's like 12. I'm like, man, all right. So, man, just ask you stay out a little longer, man. We just sitting here chilling, talking. Or we had like late night or something. Oh, yeah, like, man, it's just, come on. There's a bunch of dudes in there. Like, it's still going. It's still going. I want to go home.
And on that particular night, y'all sit on the court.
Right.
So you're running. You like,
I'm like, I can't go home now.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, if my mom pick up the phone, we good. If my dad pick up the phone, I ain't go.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll be like, I'll put it on speakerphone just to be funny, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and we'll all be sitting around like, come on.
Yeah.
Hello. Get that deep. Hello. I'm on my way home. Hey,
my
you don't even want to say hello. I'm like, hey, Dad. No. Go home. All right. Told y'all.
Right.
My mom answers the phone sometimes. Hey, Mom, can I It's already 12 o'clock. I know, Mom, but we at the gym. We just playing basketball.
Right.
I'm here with such and such.
Right.
But you know the curfew. I'm like, Mom, come on, please. We just gonna play a couple more games. Okay, you better be home by 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank you, Mom. You're on the phone, right? But with dads, like you said, it's like the rule is the rule, man. You already out late enough. Me letting you stay out till 1 is
It's a blessing.
not. Because, Mom,
Me and your mama had the conversation.
nothing good happened after 10 o'clock. She all say. But this don't, and I'm like,
Does anything good after 10 o'clock happen?
I mean, when you in the nonsense, you in the mix, a lot of good things happen in your mind.
But from this side, this side, nothing good happens after 10 o'clock. Well, Jack in the Box is good. Like, and you hope you're, but you on your way home. Yeah. But out and about and nothing. So, but those teachable things.
Yeah. And that's the kid. I'm very transparent with mine because I want them to know that I'm not just telling you something Daddy didn't live. Like, Daddy was in that. So, like, what you think you doing, you're not that slick. Like, I already done that, right? Like, example, my daughter, Halloween, she wanted to go out with her friends.
No.
I don't want to go. I'm like, yeah. But she's out with her friend, right? And I'm like, yeah, she's like, oh, we're going to go trick-or-treating. We're going to go to Craig Ranch Park. And after Craig Ranch ends at 9. Then we're going to go into the neighborhood somewhere and we're going to trick-or-treat. And then after that, we're going to go to Chipotle and eat. And I'm already thinking to myself, like, I don't know about y'all.
Chipotle ain't open there.
My kids, 50% of them is 100% of me. So I don't trust you, right? I don't trust you. Now, will I let you go and do things because I understand you have to live life?
Yeah.
Yes. Do I think that you're lying to me? It depends, right? It depends. Now, in this situation, I told her, I said, who you going with? I'm going with this person, this person, this person. I said, who else? Who you meeting up there?
Stop playing with me.
Because I know what I used to have.
Right.
You used to tell moms like, oh no, I'm going to the movies with Chris.
Yes, me, Nick, Shari, this.
Yeah.
She know you going to me.
Like, you got like 8 baddies at the theater.
Wait, all you doing to me?
So I said, who you meet? No, like, it's just us. I was like, all right. So halfway through the night, I told the wife, come on. We about to pull up. We pull up? Of course. Who are these guys? Right? Now, I didn't make a big deal of it.
We just having about this stuff. We clapped about.
I'm in the peeping out game, and I want you to know I'm that daddy. Like, I'm gonna pull up on you. You say you now, and I tell her all the time, it will be a very bad day the moment I really just cannot trust you. Right? I understand you're a kid. You're gonna do foolish things. The foolish thing that you do, I hope they're like mistakes of very small consequences, right? But the day I just can't even let you out the house, that's gonna be a miserable time for you. So you're better off just telling me the truth, right? Because again, I might still let you go. If you would have said, Dad, we're gonna hear this, and we're meeting up with our friends,
already know. I already know.
Know what you doing? You going to Craig Ranch Park with 50,000 people, and it's just gonna be y'all 3 hanging out. Come on now, sure. And there's 20,000 of them as young people. Come on, just tell me the truth. All right, we're going up there. We're gonna meet up with some of our friends from school. Blah 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 blah. I might still let you go because now I'm hoping that the foundation that I laid, because you're going to take action. Because you took enough to be honest with me. You took enough to be honest with me without already having to pry it out of me.
So now
I'm trusting that what I put in you, when you go outside this house, is going to be implemented. So don't be anywhere in no dark places. Don't you be without your friends. Don't take you out of your situation. Don't put yourself in a situation where now I got to go to prison. Right? That's not.
It's not just you going. That's like we all go. Like that's the thing our kids don't understand. It's like, if you call me, it's over. Like,
please don't
like stop.
Yes, don't do that to me.
But I think, in that you're showing her,
yeah,
right? Because even the teachable moment, as we said, is they're learning from what we do, what we doing. So you're showing her watching you on how you operate and how you move, right? We said this a few episodes ago. That's why, because we're talking about in the kingdom and the foundation, but again, he is just the way God designed it. He is the head. He's looking for the man, then the woman, then the children. Everybody plays their role. But if I have to, baby girl, I can't lead you. If I have to stop and look at you, then I can't lead. So I mean, I got to put you in a place to where now I can't. So now I got to put you on handcuffs. You said it. Don't ever put me in a space where I really can't trust you.
Yeah.
Because that means I can't keep my eyes off you. But to truly lead and wear my crown and walking this and walking in what he wants me to, I can't do it looking behind me. That's why even for the wives, for the spouses, that a happy wife, happy life, no, that does not exist. It doesn't, because if I have to focus on you, I can't lead. I mean, I got to walk backwards.
Yeah.
Like I got to focus on who he is. And then you just, again,
No happy life is gonna be a product of me keeping my eyes on
correct.
like because I'm able to do my job and God designed it. You're gonna be loved right. You're gonna be treated right.
Everybody will benefit. Yeah, everybody will benefit in your family from your greatness by allowing you to just lead and do what God will allow you to do. Simple. Because that's the teachable thing that you said. I saw my dad. He didn't say much, but I saw why. You saw him lead.
Yeah.
I don't have to
Live by example, which is the fourth point on that. Lead by example.
right, because I told you in those instances. So now when you make the mistake, it's over now. Now what are you gonna do? Right now, what choice are you gonna make? So I think that's one of those things that's awesome. And all those points are, I think, at some form or fashion, they were correct.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. They're definitely, like correct. I think, obviously how people implement them. And from our point of view,
yeah,
we're coming from a Christian point of view.
right.
Right. And because Christ is our foundation, that influences everything else in our life. Right. It influences and directs, it leads everything else in our life.
But it's everything. But everybody can.
But everybody can relate. I think most good parents,
They do all that.
they do all that in their own way, shapes and forms. Like they do all that. Now, I will say this. I think for those, because sometimes as me as a dad, I feel like, man, I ain't did enough. I haven't put enough into my children, right? We see things, especially in them teenage years, you see them do things like you're like, where you came from? Like, why you think like that? Like what? Because they're trying to come into their own individual.
They don't know who they are.
Right? And giving them
Right.
establishing that identity in them and that purpose and the understanding, look, this is who God created you to be. This is his mission and purpose for your life. This is how much he loves you. And he loves you so much, like way more than I love you. And I'll give my life for you in a heartbeat. Right. And it's just like for those parents who I would say to feel like, man, I didn't do that or I messed up with my kid. What would you say to them as far as obviously it might be too it might seem too late to go and lay a foundation, or do you think it's too late to lay a foundation? And if so, like how do you as a parent, what do you do with those kids? Like I messed up with them.
It's never too late. Just like, let's just say, get to money. Both of us growing up, now in my household, there was no such thing as investments and stocks and brokerage accounts and how important credit is and all that. It was like, okay, you want to be physically responsible, save your money, but it was get a good job, right? Get a good job, save your money. But now, what we know now, we move different, financially speaking, right? Now we're far, far from where we're going to be because this happened, right? Because we're following him. But we've changed in just how we move financially. So, of course, there's always an opportunity. Today is the day. Today is tomorrow. Because we'll say, oh man, it's I'll do it tomorrow. You said it earlier. Oh man, I get to it tomorrow. I get to those clothes later.
Yeah.
I'll get to it. No, today is tomorrow. So if you decide today, there's somebody today that's either gonna hear this podcast or watch this stream or do this, and they're like, man, you know what? I ain't doing this no more. Man, you know what? I am gonna change. And they will literally change their life. The trajectory of their life will be different. So you absolutely can. But it starts from a place, okay, first I have to acknowledge, right? I have to take the accountability.
Yeah.
So I failed you.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the success in our homes with our children is, no, your daddy, no. And that's why I said when you asked me how many kids I got 3. But being honest, right? Honest unk moment, like I was a knucklehead when I was younger. So if somebody come knocking on the door, and honestly, that is one of the greatest fears when people ask me, like, what fear do you have? It ain't dying, because I already know I'm going. It ain't that I got life insurance, so the family be taken care of. Honestly, one of the greatest fears I have is having a child out there that I have no idea. And them growing up with me and them resenting me, but me not knowing. So if they come into the house and they 20, hey, 21,
Right.
listen,
I bet.
hey, they don't have them in. We gonna have a conversation. We got some lemonade stuff like invite them for dinner because it may be a possibility.
Yeah.
But having that is like, no. So I think that's part of it is the accountability.
Accountability is huge. And I think a lot of parents who just weren't the best parents avoid that. And that's why the relationship stays strained because you can't just,
You can't say it.
you know, just, you
Being fake.
bro, if you can't smell was a bad parent, you was a bad parent. The day you decide I want to be a good parent and your child 40, then okay, you miss all the daddy stuff.
Now, the consequence of that, you may not ever have the relationship that you want to have in your mind and in your heart.
Right.
Because that's a consequence. We don't get to choose the consequence of the choice we made.
Yeah.
But you can decide, I'm here.
Yeah.
Son, my bad. I failed you. I should have been in your life more. I should have done certain things. Baby girl, that's my fault.
Yeah.
I fully take responsibility for that. And I'm not saying, I know it's going to take time, right? I know it's going to, but I'm here.
It's never too late.
It's never too late. I'm here saying, if you need anything, I'm here. Now,
And
you have to be okay with what,
consistent after that.
Yeah.
True. Because when you get the attitude,
What is number 4, following through?
yeah, when you follow through, you gotta follow through. You get the attitude, you get the resentment. You might experience some of that,
Especially early.
but that's part of the consequence.
Because you didn't. And
Yeah.
they're not lying. That's the thing. Don't get mad at them. It was like, you weren't at the recital. You weren't at my football practice. That's why I gave a shout out to mom. And that you weren't there.
Yeah.
So now that it's over,
And kids don't care about your excuses.
they don't. And that's why I didn't ask to be here.
And that's one of the things I had to realize, man, is like, when you, as a good parent, you want to give your kids the best. But I don't want to sacrifice. I would never sacrifice my family for success. Right? Because they don't care. Like, oh, baby, I wasn't home because I was working 300 hours a week. So we can live in this big old house. They like, this big old house and you can burn.
We clearly don't care. I wanted to be in the studio.
Or like catch outside. Right. I wanted you to take me to the park. I wanted you to take me on a ride bike. I wanted you to take me to the movies. That's what they care about. They don't care about none of that other stuff. Right now, obviously, when they get older, until they get older,
Then they get older. Then they be like, Daddy, don't you got to go to work? Daddy, ain't you?
Hey, boy, you borrow this money.
You ain't working today?
Yeah, can I get these shoes at $300? And my kids think I'm rich.
Ain't nobody buying golden gooses.
Man,
Listen, dirty shoes? Bro, that tripped me out. These golden gooses, they dirty.
I ain't never seen it.
They dirty.
They're called golden goose.
Golden gooses. And there's a store. We went to Puerto Rico. There's a store in Puerto Rico. There's a store, I think, fast show. Bro, it is like they say, dirty. They are dirty. Brand new. Dirties. Remember the old songs growing up? Put my Vans on, but they look like sneakers? Like, yeah. Like after skaters done been in them.
And they probably like $300-400.
$2 is $300. And they started $300-400. They could go. I'm like, I'm not paying for dirty shoes, but
That's crazy.
anyway, that's I guess what's up. But
Oh, yeah.
but we'll for this episode, I think we had that space to just start winding down. And
Yeah, man. I just want people to know, like, one, wherever you are, if you're a parent, like, you haven't laid that foundation, it's not too late. Talk to your kids. Constantly be in your kids' ear. Open your Bible. Get in the Bible for yourself. Encourage your kids to get in the Bible. Find yourself a local church home if you ain't in one, right? And then two, if you're a child, if you a young person and you feel like, man, I didn't have the proper foundation. I don't feel like my parents did a good job. Again, you open your Bible, read, find somebody, go to a local church, tap in, right? Because
man, Reformation Church is a great church here.
LV,
Elvin's
the Crips, right?
Listen, Destiny Church.
I have this very definitely Crips in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna start putting like church information somewhere like
Yeah, we'll get that.
So something.
Yeah.
But yeah, tap in, man, because ultimately we want the culture to thrive and we want the narrative not to be the nonsense, but all the good things that
well, we here for y'all. Like, we going through the comments and put in the comments, right? That's what we want. That's community, because we gonna pray together. We're gonna rock out together. That's if nothing else, I can be helping and praying for your situation and to help, in any way we can. That's why we're here. That's the community. So it's never too late. It is never, ever too late. Again, now it may not be how you think it's going to be, or how you want it to be, but it's never too late, especially for parents. It wasn't, again, you made the mistakes, own up to it. But from then, okay, just move on, right? Because it's no point in just sitting here and shoulda, coulda, woulda. We all could do that, but it's never too late.
that, bro, we gonna leave it there.
I think that's a good place to leave it, man. Enjoyed you today, man.
Yeah, like
Another good episode. Thank y'all so much again for tuning in. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Again, in the comments, all that. Thank you so much to everybody who's already subscribed and who's went on our reels and our shorts on IG. Thank you so much. And again, never ever want to miss an episode or opportunity. Chris, my guy, man, Vegas Content Studio.
Vegas Content Studio.
We got new people in the building. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hey, that's how we got to get the little sound thing. Oh, man, so we'll work on that. But the new people in the building, we look forward to y'all and the relationship we're going to build and everything, man. It is great down here, man. I'm happy. So I'm good. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Peace.
Peace.